The 2016 Delta Downs Quarter Horse Race Report, brought to you by the LQHBA, Delta Equine Center in Vinton, Louisiana, ACADIANA Hospital in Opelousas, Robichaux Ranch in Brobridge, Louisiana, and Kenneth L. Roberts Racing Stables. Do you know how great things are in the quarter horse racing industry in the state of Louisiana? With a big year-round racing calendar that allows for horsemen to run at 148 racing days, and over $22 million in purses being distributed in 2015, and over $4.5 million in breeder and stallion awards paid out annually, and one of the most talented stocked front page to back page annual yearling sales in all of quarter horse racing, and with the largest and only $1 million state-bred futurity in the industry, the momentum of the Louisiana quarter horse racing industry is immense. Louisiana-bred quarter horses are faster horses that run for more money. And hello again, everyone. I'm Greg Thompson of StallionResearch.com. Episode 4 of the Delta Report here. Let's look back at last weekend's Old South Futurity and Old South Derby, as well as the Vinton Stakes in the recap section, and looking forward to this upcoming stakes action in the Lassie and Laddie Futurity, as well as the Delta 550 Stakes. So let's get right into it. Let's look at the Old South Futurity from this past weekend.
The $88,000 Old South Futurity.
And they're off in the Old South at Delta Downs. Sizzlin' Stewart came away fast right in the middle. Moving up next to that one here is Champagne Prospect. To the inside of that one is Volcomtini. Coming on to the far outside, Trace Sign. Trace Sign is charging at Sizzlin' Stewart late, but Sizzlin' Stewart wins the Old South.
We were not disappointed as the favorite and fastest qualifier from the Kenny Roberts barn. Sizzlin' Stewart prevails in the Old South Futurity under the front-running effort by veteran riders Gilbert Ortiz for owners P&D Racing in a time of 17.007 seconds for the 330 yards. Sizzling Stewart earned over $44,000 to bring his bankroll to well over $48,000 in his two-race career. He was bred in the state of Texas by Stewart Horses Limited.
Delta Equine Center in Vinton, Louisiana. Breeders can view the upcoming stallion roster for 2016 at DeltaEquineCenter.com. That list includes the Grade 1 producing sire Agouti, the son of Corona Cartel. Shining First Dash, the Grade 1 half-brother to leading sire Shazoom. One Famous Brioni, the full brother to one of the nation's top sires, One Famous Eagle. The astoundingly handsome I Got Your Tack, the Grade 1 Golden State Million Futurity winner. And introducing to Louisiana for 2016, the Grade 1 winning Prospect to the Top. Quality, integrity, Delta Equine Center.
The $71,000 Old South Derby.
And they're off in the Old South Derby at Delta Downs. Coming away fast here was Politically Corrupt right in the middle. To the outside, catching fire. Corona's trying to catch up. SR Inseparable is now charging in the black cap. One Tough Rio is there. And on the far outside, closing is Paint Me a Storm. But it's SR Inseparable winning the Old South Derby. Just barely over Paint Me a Storm. Third went to Politically Corrupt.
The Adrian Hutron trained SR Inseparable holds off a flying charge on the outside by Paint Me a Storm to win the $71,000 Old South Derby with Manuel Caritas Gutierrez in the irons. The 3-year-old covered the 350 yards in a time of 17.614 seconds for owner George Aguilar. SR Inseparable was bred in the state of Oklahoma by Andrew T. Smith.
The $50,000 Vinton Stakes.
And they're off in the Vinton Stakes at Delta Downs. Some crowding in the middle. Jet Black Zoomer came away with the early lead. Moving up is My Favorite Blue. On the outside of those, Jessa Louisiana Zoom is rolling, and to the inside, here's Telerosa. And now Telerosa gains the lead over Jessa Louisiana Zoom. And it's Telerosa and Lucas Constantine to win the Vinton Stakes.
Trainer Kenneth Roberts continued his successful weekend of racing at Delta with a win in the Vinton Stakes by last year's restricted Grade 1 LQHBA Sale Futurity winner Telerosa, who spurted home to a win over the talented field of 3-year-olds in a time of 19.783 seconds for the 400 yards in rainy conditions. Just as track announcer Don Stevens proclaimed, winning jockey Lucas Constantine was in the irons for owner Douglas Traylor. The jet black Patriot filly moved her career earnings past the $193,000 mark with the win, and she was bred in the state of Louisiana by James Ronald Magnan.
The Stallions of Robichaux Ranch in Breaux Bridge, Louisiana. The champion 3-year-old Apolitical Blood. The multiple stakes winner Fast Prize Jordan. AQHA champion 5-Bar Cartel. AQHA champion sire Fury of the Wind. Nationally ranked leading sire Game Patriot. AQHA champion sire He's a Fast Dash. Multiple Grade 1 winner Jet Black Patriot. And 2-time champion Toasted Dash. This incredible lineup of stallions can be found at none other than Robichaux Ranch Incorporated in Breaux Bridge, Louisiana. The Delta Downs Stakes Preview.
We start our preview of this upcoming stakes action and look again at the fastest trial performances going into the LASSIE Futurity trials. We start our preview of this upcoming stakes action with a look again at the fastest trial performances going into the LASSIE finals. We look back at the trial race of the fastest qualifier Dash and Swinger on the far outside in the 9 path in her trial with jockey Juan Marquez aboard for trainer Erasmo Hernandez. The interesting thing to note is how far the second place finisher, I'm La Leavin, finishes behind the fastest qualifier Dash and Swinger. I'm La Leavin is only 3/4 of a length behind at the wire, but makes the field for the finals as the 10th fastest qualifier, showing that the 2nd through 9th fastest qualifier would all have fit within that 3/4 of a length margin. This is a well-matched field going into the finals, and if you're looking for the most experienced runner in the field out of all these youngsters going into the LASSIE, it would have to go to Adrian Hutrone trained Jessie Little Star, the Gray Filly, seen here winning her trial, but looking back at Louisiana Downs, she closed in the Mardi Gras Futurity earlier this year to come along the outside to finish 4th at Louisiana Downs in Bossier City, Louisiana.
The LASSIE Futurity Preview.
In the trial race that produced the fastest qualifier going into the LASSIE, Royal Quick Patriot ran a game race to capture the top spot, but the 3rd fastest qualifier, Bankin' on Bucks, along the rail was only a half length behind the winner. That means the 2nd fastest qualifier in the field, Blue Courage, seen here in his trial for the LASSIE, would have been right there at the wire with the fastest qualifier within a neck or so of Royal Quick Patriot. And out of this trial race, you also got the 5th fastest qualifier, which was only a head behind the 2nd fastest qualifier, Blue Courage. Thus, the top 5 qualifiers, in theory, would have hit the wire in a cluster, according to the times, with all things equal, showing you just how closely this futurity will be matched going into Saturday's final.
The Delta 550 Stakes Preview.
The Delta 550 Stakes, from a handicapping standpoint, is a wide open affair, possibly headlined by a horse that seems to like that added distance, as he captured the running of the 550-yard Harris County Stakes at Sam Houston in March. The aptly named I Know He Knows I Know will be hoping to return to his winning ways in the 550-yard Delta Stakes this Saturday with Louis Vivanco aboard. And you can read all about the upcoming stakes action this weekend at Delta in the racing preview section of StallionResearch.com. The price of success is hard work, dedication, and determination. A philosophy that has made trainer Kenny Roberts the 3rd all-time winningest trainer in AQHA history. Always accepting quality horses for the Louisiana Quarter Horse Racing Circuit of Louisiana Downs, Delta, Evangeline, and the Fairgrounds. Consistently one of the top 5 trainers every year in the U.S. in earnings. Winner of the Grade 1 All-American Derby and the restricted Grade 1 LQHBA Breeders' Million Futurity, just to name a few stakes wins. Quality and integrity has a name in quarter horse racing, and it goes by the name of Kenneth L. Roberts.
The Delta Report Stallion Spotlight.
This week's Stallion Spotlight goes to the sire Sizzling Cartel, the son of Corona for Me out of the Apollo mare named In His Dreams. And he earns the spotlight this week by the win in the Old South Futurity by his son Sizzling Stewart at Delta Downs. As a runner, Sizzling Cartel came home a winner himself in the Grade 2 Firecracker Futurity before retiring to stud with over $233,000 in earnings. And Sizzling Cartel is off to a successful beginning in his stud career as he has cracked the leaderboard and into the top 5 of the nation for the first crop sires in 2016. And you can view his member stallion page by logging on to stallionesearch.com. Introducing Acadiana Equine Hospital in Opelousas, Louisiana, a state-of-the-art equine veterinary practice and surgery center, offers a veterinary-directed rehabilitation center that features an aqua treadmill, not to mention a breeding center with some of the top stallions in the state. You can view the entire 2016 stallion roster, as well as the array of services offered at this advanced veterinary clinic by logging on to ACADIANAEquineHospital.com. On next week's Delta Report, we recap the Lassie and the Laddie Futurity as well as the Delta 550 in the stakes recap section. And then we preview the Grade 3 Develop a Plan stakes. If you can't be at the racetrack this weekend, go to aqha.com/racing and watch all the Q Racing videos from all the partnering racetracks from across the country. You can not only follow Louisiana Quarter Horse Racing on Stallion eSearch, but you can also follow along on stallionesearch.com's Facebook page. Be sure to like us. And we'll see you next week here on the Delta Report.